Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Let me see, I'll make a little bit of adjustment here. Yeah, there we go. I thought we'd talk about what women are looking for in a man. And the reason I say this, like I said, things are more apparent. It's easier to see things when you go to a foreign country. And one thing I noticed, like I said, I've been living in China. One of the things that I've noticed is in China, everything in the way of occupations, everything is done by men and done by women. It's really kind of shocked me, to tell you the truth. And the thing is, it's really apparent that it's a lot of equality. And that equality has made it so I could see the differences. Remember I mentioned that I stand out over there. Well, to tell you the truth, I kind of stand out most every place I go. And I never really thought a whole lot about it. I mean, I come up with all kinds of really cool reasons. You know, my mannerisms, you know, my height, half American, half Chinese, so I don't really kind of look like anything in particular. So, but when I'm in China, and I don't even speak the language, and I stand out. And not speaking the language, of course you're going to stand out. You know, I mean, here in the United States, you're in a place and they're talking some foreign language in a convenience store, they're going to stand out. Yeah, but I mean, I don't even have anybody to talk to. You know, I mean, so it's not like it's a conversation people hear. Just by the way I act, I've noticed. And my wife, like I said, my wife has gone 30 years without a man, and you know, all this still kind of puzzles me because we can't talk, so I don't really get the whole story on what it is. But now she's got a man in her life, and she, you know, when we got together, in the first place, she said it's been 30 years, so you know, you got to be patient with me, you know, as she's learning how to cope with a man. And I think it's what I can see is, well, now, for her, I say she's 58 years old, 30 years without a man. She knows she's starting to get old, and she's much more forgiving than what she used to be. I say we've had our little tit and tat kind of thing, and you know, well, no, I guess we don't get the tit and tat thing. But she did piss me off 2 times, and I'm not going to go into exactly what it was, but one of the times I packed up. I packed up my bags, and I was going to leave, and I thought, well, it's not really polite just to get up and leave. I need to explain to her what's going on. And what it was, and it took me, like I say, it took 2 times for it to happen before I figured out exactly what it was. But what it was, my pride. She it'd be kind of like, it's not the right word, but that's the best word I can say, is embarrassed me. Now, and the reality is, I started thinking about that. And I told her, you embarrassed me. And then it hurts my pride. And I told her at that time, you don't mess with a man's pride. And I started thinking about that afterwards. And I do mess with a man's pride. It's a lot of times it's subtle, but some not always. But one thing that's consistent, if I am going after a man's pride, the end result is going to be, I'm going to spit in his face and slap him around. And now that's not literal, but what I'm saying is, when the man will start doing stuff, and if it's out of line, it's I talk about my we all have some degree of values, and when you go against my values, I kind of get out of the way. I don't want to, I don't want trouble, and but I say I disagree, but I'm not going to say nothing and all that. Now, if you go against my morals, I will ask. And that's because I'm testing my morals. Morally, this is wrong, but maybe there's something that I'm not catching the whole idea. So, and I will ask, what was going on and all this kind of stuff. But now that's when I'm being nice. But like I say, when some guy is just downright being unmanly, manly is you're polite, you're nice, you're good. That's what I believe in, and that's what I strive for. Okay, so when a man doesn't act that way, he's abusive either to me, to somebody else, in words, physical action for sure. I'm ready to jump in on that. But when this stuff starts happening, I will start getting after his pride, because bullies, that's what bullies, they run on pride, and the only way they can feed their pride is intimidation on others. Now, for me, like I say, my morals have been tested a lot. My physical abilities have been tested a lot. And, I'm not the smartest guy around. So you can use words and just baffle me down really good with words. But like I say, if I don't understand, I normally just kind of just move right on. Don't worry about it. So you can intelligent me. You can intimidate me intelligently in your mind. You think you are. For me, I think, well, you're just one of those smart guys. I can't compete with you, so I'm not even going to try to listen to your crap. And because my thing is communications. I don't care how smart you are. If you can't communicate your ideas, you're stupid. So, but anyway, that's for me personally. And so, in other words, I will get after somebody's pride. Like I say, just a little bit, and then because I'm pushing him, I want to know how far he's going to go before he thinks he's going to jump on me, and then eventually, if I normally I can make my point by doing like that, but not always. Sometimes I just flat have to go right directly after his pride, and then they're normally bullies. And so here they're thinking they're going to be feeding their pride. And what I'm getting ready to do is inflate their pride. And so I do things a little differently. Oh! Hey! Okay. I can edit now. So, because I got my computer here. And but anyway, I'm going to continue talking. about inflating a man's pride. And but like I say, when I do that, I know there's going to be a physical confrontation. If it's a man, I mean a true man. Nowadays, I'll tell you, these people are so wimpy. These men are so wimpy. They only stand behind their I don't know how you say it, but they stand behind their words only so long, and then what they'll do is they won't really stand behind it. They'll look for a way to get out from it. And in other words, they will start coming at you personally. In other words, they'll say, "Well, you're fat," or you're ugly. They're going to say something like that. It's more of a personal attack on stuff like that. I don't really do it like that, and that's because, like I say, I'm doing things manly. Manly. I don't need to call you a name. I mean, I can just talk about the way you act, and your actions demonstrate a lot about who you are or who you're really not. So in other words, you can talk the shit, but now it's a good time to kind of act the shit, but you're not going to act it. So so that's why I'm saying I'm getting after his pride. And then, good, you want to jump on me physically? We'll do it like that. But I say, normally they don't. Now, most people are younger than me. I'm starting to get old now. But when I was young, you're all young bucks, and you're going to push. You're learning for your how do they call it? Your pecking order. And so then they start doing like that. Me, I'm not in the pecking order because I really don't care. I've never been part of the group. I mentioned before. When I used to think, when I was younger, am I a loner? Or, and I had all kinds of excuses why I'm not with everybody else and go along with all these people. And it turned out, I finally realized I'm not a loner. I'm running ahead of the pack. And so, in other words, I'm learning things ahead of the people my age, whether I was, 18 years old or, 30 years old, don't matter. And even now, I'm 69, and I still realize, I am kind of running ahead of the pack. I'm kind of exploring life. I'm doing things that many can't. Well, I realized when I was 50, I realized I can't do all that stuff. So then I started, that's what I mentioned, I started eliminating stuff because my stuff was owning me. And by 52, I was completely free, and, I was ready to do things. Now, my wife of 41 years, she's Chinese, and she was from, born and raised in Guatemala. And I say, and so she's seen violence. She's never been a violent person. She hates blood. Every time I'm getting ready to beat the hell out of somebody, she would turn and walk away because she didn't want to see the blood. And so, and then, like I say, she would treat me like her man. And then when things started getting kind of funny, she'd hold my arm, like a lady. And when things started getting a little funny, she would take her arm away from my arm because she knew, well, okay, it's your time to act like a man. She liked a real man. She would never admit that she liked it when I would stand strong. But like I say, she supported me. when I stood strong. And then, I say I didn't always win. There's a lot of times I went up against the government a lot. I mean, county government, state government. I'm always going up against somebody, and that's because I always talk about laws in the United States. Laws have to be moral, and they have to be constitutional. And if they're not a law.